I invite Dr. Yash Patel for his topic on an important key to appreciate diabetes management real-world patients data, diabetes registry in India. Dr. Yash Patel is Director and Consultant Diabetologist, Swasthya Diabetes Care, All India Institute of Diabetes and Research. Dr. Yash Patel.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All respected faculties, delegates, and our organizing teams, the volunteers, and the participants from all over globe. We have overwhelming response for this conference. This is happening first time, and like how the whole over globe have involved ourselves in the participation of innovations by non-governmental organizations in diabetes care, we really appreciate your efforts and to for the cause of ourselves in this mission. My today's topic is an important key to appropriate diabetes management, the real world patients data, and how we can proceed further for the diabetes registry. Thank you for all chairpersons to introduce myself, and indeed pleasure to host this talk in our platform. What is the background behind the diabetes registry? So in the background, why it is required, how we would take care of this registry, what are the basic pillars for the platform to establish for, who would be the stakeholders and joining hands together, which resources or infrastructure we require behind, and when this could be possible. So taking further, we know that diabetes is an epidemic and that is there for longer duration. All over globe, the incidence of diabetes and the prevalence both are rising in much more higher level. If we see specifically the Southeast Asian region, the numbers are rising in a way that by 2045, we would be touching 151 millions in India only. If we see the global level, there are 629 millions would be there in 2045. This is IDF data. But what we see in the real world is we are touching these milestones much more higher in the earlier level than expected. To the note, we know diabetes care is a chronic condition and we require the lifelong therapy. So rather than keeping it to chronic disease level, I keep it at present level, it is lifelong condition. And India is one of the world capital behind. The lifestyle disease, increasing the incidence, which is in our constraint. Lack of systemic coordinated data for the background, it is in for this talk. And we require on those data how analytics can play part. Till time, whatever the publications we have, those are in publications also after that had gone through the legacy period of journal submissions, legacy period of reviews, and then the publications. So we don't have the real world data, and that is the background to establish the diabetes registry. In that background, not only to focus the diabetes registry, what I am building around is the concept of the diabetes care ecosystem. The ecosystem which has the environment all around with the data, with the patients, with the clinical care, and how we can establish around. So if we see the diabetes care ecosystem, what is the vision behind? Is equal, high quality healthcare for all friends with diabetes. So specifically, diabetes. If we see the diabetes is not only limited to type 2 or type 1, there are plenty type of diabetes. And where the friends who are affected or under influence of high plasma glucose or diabetes, where we are looking after. Yes, there are high prevalence of type 2 diabetes. Almost 85 to 90% of our total population is affected by the type 2 diabetes. But type 1, they have the different conditions to look after. Even the in this type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, we are able to look forward that what could be the further level of their healthcare management. If we are telling the equal, then all parameters equally distributed, all resources, all infrastructure equally throughout the globe, how we can make it possible. When we are telling about high quality, so there is a standardized quality, and that standards matching to all around, that is much more importantly required. Now building to further level, when we talk about healthcare and health, specifically in diabetes care, in different type of diabetes, the health is not only we can define as WHO health definition, that health is not only the merely absence of disease. So it's not only the rise in the plasma glucose or its comorbidities or its complications, but also along with, for that individual, mental, physical and social well-being is to look after. So in this health ecosystem, if we think about, it's not only the patient, but their family members, their care providers, their family monitors or moderators, they are also part of it. Even to the doctor side, till time whatever the health communications we see about is not only the patients and the doctor, but we have to build up to the further level, because not only the doctor, the healthcare providers, nursing staffs, to educators, to the laboratories, to the physiotherapies, to the plenty of aspects of healthcare providers are around. Even the healthcare providers and the patient or patient's family member is not only the part, the community, the healthcare institutions, even the governments and the governments, even the clinical infrastructures, healthcare providers at the different level, pharmaceutical companies, to the researchers, to the many other stakeholders for the healthcare providers and the technology. So combining the health for the individuals from the clinical side to the government levels, to the governments, or to the NGOs level, or to the administrative level, all can be part of the health structure. Building further, what could be the mission behind the ecosystem is harmonized care to the optimized outcome in friends with diabetes throughout the world. In that harmonized level, we then build the further concept of ICT platform where the all stakeholders can connect it together. Why is it so? So based response to the connected to all connecting stakeholders, improve the quality of care, ensure better compliance to treatment. Even the guidelines and protocols are followed to the best extent to break the silos as well as to collect the data actively as well as passively. In a clinical practice, when the consultant or the family providers are asked to provide the active data, there is always bias. So above that active clinical inputs, there could be a passive data arrangement also. And in this today's world, with plenty of technologies around, there are voice commands technology around, we can do it much more easily and in a standardized format. Why standardized universal data is important? To analyze the data also, so leading to better understanding and positive impact of quality of care that could be possible with ICT platforms around. So taking the whole ecosystem to the further level, it's not only the plasma glucose management, not only the comorbidities, blood pressure, diabetes, dyslipidemia, all those management, obesity management, or not only limiting to the complications. It is holistic, lifelong health, and that's where the diabetes care ecosystems is required. In this ecosystem, it is not only the primary care provider or diabetologist, the specialists, eye surgeons, retina specialists, nephrologists, neurologists are the part of stakeholding. Even the nursing care, educators, nutritionists, lifestyle coach, even the physiotherapist, diabetes educator, patient's family, even patient support group, medical insurance, telemedicine facilities, devices, pharmacies, or as well as pharma companies, pathologies, or laboratories, or any investigational team could be part of all these stakeholders. And combining all together, we can build an healthcare innovations around. And combining those innovations in an extent where the core structure is patient, where they should be benefited. With the healthcare innovation, the best focus to be looked for is the quality, cost effective way. Safety is much more required in healthcare innovations. The efficiency of that innovation is such an extent that outcomes are delivered much more better way for the patient to see them, to examine them, how the patient is heard in that clinical practices, how the patient's needs are met in those extents for treatment, diagnosis, prevention, educating and awareness creation, research and outreach. So not only these healthcare innovations are limited to the patient side, but even the healthcare providers, if they are merged on the same platform for all these aspects, then the better outcome with best efficiencies, safety to the patients or healthcare providers, even the cost effective way and best quality outcome achievement in the healthcare innovations can be provided. Further, these ecosystems can be valued on empathy, empowerment, evidence-based for everyone and from everywhere. So empathy is when patient get the sense that he is or she is heard well. Empowerment when that patient is educated at the right time at the right need. Evidence based when all those guidelines created by our all associations are much more put at the right time when the patient required at the right position for everyone, not only limited to type 2, type 1, gestational diabetes, to any part of the world individuals living beyond the horizons, living in any age group. That could be possible with this ecosystem. So combining those values to all stakeholders and building further the excellence in the clinical care could be possible. Not only the complication management, not only the retinopathy, nephropathy, neuropathy, or cardiac side or stroke side, even to the good glycemic control, known as secondary prevention, when the individual is having diabetes, at that time also with minimal medication, good glycemic control could be possible by combining all these stakeholders in the ecosystem with these values. Even not to the limiting to those who has diabetes, but even the primary prevention on to those individuals who are prone to get diabetes. So family history positive individuals, high risk individuals, in them also the prevention of diabetes is possible. Even primary prevention to the secondary prevention to the tertiary prevention in the diabetic individuals for the prevention of complications or prevention of comorbidities can be possible with this ecosystem. Till time, the medical education is based in the infrastructure or college based. With this ecosystem, the medical education can be possible in the real time educations. The research can be possible with the excellence in the real time. And the community care or the administrative care at the administrative level, there the decision can be made at the real time with this system. Why administrative level? Because if we see any village administrator, if we see any state administrator or any nation administrator, if they get the total health in their mobile, then they would be able to easily titrate their healthcare resources and the infrastructure on basis of need. And in this COVID time as well as this epidemic, we are able to see those needs much more extent. So where holistic lifelong healthcare system, which is on all these stakeholders, which proper values for the patients or the individuals with diabetes, and combining the excellence to all these stakeholders, we can reduce the inequality in access to or quality of diabetes care for any age group, for any type of diabetes, for any need of specialized multidisciplinary team approach in any part of the world, for any social as well as cultural differences, for any financial differences, the mobilization of charitable funds or the non-governmental organizations or governance to that level can be possible when we have the real-time dashboard for the same. For any countries and for any clinical governance, this could be possible. But in that background, interested parties with commonly agreed goals needs to be combined and collaborated, connected through common objectives and the standards for that diabetes care at most best or excellence level. With those in the mind and combining all these stakeholders with the excellence could be possible, then the inequality in access to and the quality of diabetes care can be moved to excellence in the clinical care as well as diabetes education, diabetes research, and the community work to the further much more better way. And that is possible with this ecosystem around. And to make sure this registry, when we make it to the real-time data, passive data, standardized uniform data, then that can serve to the better extent to the specialized researchers or the service provider. Even access to the biobanks and human biological materials for donors as well as the receivers could be possible at most cost effective and a timely manner. The need for more standardized treatment guidelines can be pushed further, and adding the artificial intelligence as well as machine learning can be possible with these devices around. Even aggregation of resources as well as infrastructure can be possible. I would share an example on the same, that in India, in Southeast Asia, we were the first one to buy the CGMS in 2001, which is continuous glucose monitoring system for our high risk individuals. Even the insulin pump we bought in 2001, first in Asia. But with this ecosystem, we are able to share these resources to all the stakeholders who are interested combined for the cost. And that is possible with the aggregated model. Same can be generated for all the stakeholders around for different specialties, even to the blood collections, even to the medication deliveries, even the compliance of the patients can be looked after, even to the family members who are living far away from their needy or the senior citizen individuals or the type 1 individuals, or when they are on the job but they are not aware that how they can look for their individuals. This scope can be possible with this ecosystem. So collaborative resources and infrastructure collaborations with real-time data and researching on them, analyzing them, and creating the aggregator model could be possible for all around. Now, when we are talking about connections and collaborations between diabetes centers, right, and even not only the diabetes centers, but all stakeholders, then that joint collections of data, handling those data with precision, evaluating and keeping it confidential and in the standardized format, that can serve the all cross borders research as well as analytics, and providing the utmost excellence care for the friends with diabetes independent of any part of the world that can where they are living could be possible. In that mind, what I'm providing, the healthcare ecosystem structure could be created here, where we are extending our hands to all our stakeholders, volunteers, NGOs, stakeholdings, or the researchers, all delegates, the consultants, as well as the part of these meetings and the interactions. If you are interested, you can connect us to the networking zone. You can put how you can support in that background. And in that, not only we have created this conference that is first in the globe for innovations by NGOs in diabetes care. And we really appreciate your inputs on the same, and we are looking forward for the further upcoming years. Thank you for participating in. There are plenty of organizations are joining in, and where we have discussed all our needs for creating these ecosystems for our type 1 diabetes as well as type 2 diabetes as well as diabetes and pregnancy or other types of diabetes for all stakeholders. And that's where our team welcomes you and holds you for this course. And indeed pleasure. Thank you. Namaste. And we are looking forward for your interactive question answers.
Good afternoon, Dr. Yash Patel.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mikhail Khanna.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to chair the session, Dr. Yash Patel,
Right.
Dr. Mayur Patel, and the team. I wanted to ask you one question. What are the hurdles which are faced in forming and maintaining the diabetes registry in India? So, important question from this thing, my side. I had this doubt. So
this is a wonderful question, and it is not only limited to India, any part of the
yes,
world. The question is, and even any part of the disease condition, not only the diabetes. When we talk about health, then the standardized learning of the health is always provided first in the book, then to the patients. But the real world is real question. The health is not only focused to the patients or absence of its focus also on the social well-being and the whole health. Then it is not only that the elements, but it is generalized data that those are vitally important. Now, where we come about the registry, so it is one of the documentation, and the documentation requires the active as well as the passive data also. So active means which are entered actively by putting forward, and passively those are monitored on the passive level. Maybe if we know have the technology now, that how many steps we have walked on, how many drugs we have taken, the compliance and the strips, all those can be taken through the passive data. Now, when you ask about real question and registry as the question on the data side is standardized uniform data, which I mentioned again in the talk. We have many consultants, nursing staffs, even the community workers in the field, even the NGOs, administrator. What real constraint comes up in the documentation? If we have the account sheet or balance sheet, then we have the specific number, and those are written in the specific format with the digits. But when it comes to the health side, then the digits are like somewhere it mentions 120 by 80 millimeters of mercury is the blood pressure. Somewhere it mentions like 120 oblique 80, 120 slash 80, and millimeters of mercury is replaced by of Hg. So such kind of standardization, documentation in the formation are missing out. Above that level, the universal collaborations among the institution, that is also one of the administrative level we are looking for, and the usual conditions, diagnosis, and the monitoring. If we think about the registry of diabetes, then the real another question comes up is it not one-time documentation or data? The further things are continuous follow-up of those data, and the elements is more important. And that's where it is more helpful when we are talking about diabetes registry. Then the why moving from registry to ecosystem is more thought of is the continuous lifelong data. Even that could be possible with the multiple generations data also.
Yeah, thank you so much for a wonderful presentation and solving my doubt. Second, this thing is that is there any registry for pre-diabetes patient in India, because India is also the hub of pre-diabetes. So because it's growing after this pandemic, and so do we have a pre-diabetes registry, or we can follow it up to a bigger level and maintain that so that we can nip it in the bud itself? That was my idea. Like, do you have such kind of a registry?
So what you talked about is a wonderful questions to build up when we talk about ecosystem and healthcare ecosystem. I'll get it into much more roots. If we see the health system in at present world scenario, then what we are doing is tracking out the elements from retrospective way. Why is it so? Is like elements is based focus. The doctor resources, the healthcare resources are much more limited. In that constraint, what we see is when the patient has fever, then we go for the consultations, investigation, diagnosis, and the treatment. When the patient gets the diabetes or the rise in sugar, then they go to the they find out in the, I'll say incidentally or accidentally, they find out that they have the diabetes, and that happens almost 80 to 90% of individuals as per the data. And screenings is mostly limited, diagnosis in screenings is mostly limited to 10 to 15% in regular aspects in developing part of the world. Now same with the complications. At the time of first diagnosis, almost 50% of individuals have either micro or macrovascular complication, or maybe those complications had led to them to the diagnosis. So registry for, I'll say, pregnancy in diabetes, yes, it had been wonderful because infant mortality and maternal mortality were at the questions by government. For the health, I'll say for health milestones or measurements. Same way, type 1 diabetes, that is possible due to lack of resources, and to manage them, that is possible. Somewhere for type 2 diabetes, that had been working on in the EMR systems or monitoring. But when we are talking about pre-diabetes, then I would put a question forward. When we see the prevalence of diabetes in India or Southeast Asia or any developing part of the country, world, where it is around 10 to 15% of the community, then whether those high-risk communities all needs to go through registry or documentation or ecosystems. And that's where we invite all of the collaborations around. If we put all of ourselves in the healthcare parameters, then that ecosystems can measure even all individuals healthcare data and provide the analytics that what is the chance of getting to the pre-diabetes, or those who are pre-diabetics, then how can we prevent the progression of diabetes on those individuals. And not only diabetes, this could be much more effective for any lifestyle diseases. This could be much more effective, even accidental. One of the research I was reviewing was the intelligent cars, the Mercedes, Audis, and the BMW. Why I'm naming those brands? Because they are investing higher in the health of the drivers or the passengers of those cars. And one of those multinationals had made sure if the individual has not enough sleep cycle or his sleep is disturbed, then the cars goes to the hold. It won't allow them to drive, even the alcohol level. So such kind of data, those are passive data, could be reflected to the health ecosystem. That could be possible with this registry and further building to the healthcare ecosystem concept. Yes.
Thank you so much. I pass on this session to Dr. Urvi Parekh for further.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yash Patel, for a nice, excellent, and energetic presentation. This eco healthcare system for diabetics really will be heaven to them. And I want to ask one question regarding what is the role of counselor in this ecosystem?
Wonderful. So what you are telling me is one of the stakeholder of the ecosystem. And
Right.
when we see the counselor, so counselors at present scenarios, they are asked on demand, or their services are on demand. When we have this ecosystem on place, then what we can see is what is the need of the individuals and reaching to them or prompting them for the counselor. And not the counselor, even I would much more elaborate the counselor role also. So counselor roles are the professional roles, but somewhere in Indian or the developing part of the world where the families are joint family. And what a research I also shared about Harvard, that 85% of our outdoor patients are accompanied by their friends or family members. So why can't that counselor role can be extended to those caretaker, or I will say care providers? And that could be possible with this passive data, active involvements of the all our participation and generating the ecosystem around. And that counseling is not only related to the diabetes counseling also. Somewhere it is psychology also, somewhere it is physical also, somewhere it is stress management also. Any part which is related to health and documented can be possible with that complex. And thank you for asking that question.
So starting from diagnosis of diabetes by me, the question starts from there, and stress also starts from there. So it's very important to have a talk with our patients, and if we don't have time, then the role of counselor is very important.
That is where, and when the patient says that I am always accompanied by someone, or someone is always auditing me, or I am already hand-holded by someone through the system, then the confidence of that is much more higher. That is a specific word for the same, is chaperone health, or I will say it's chaperone. So why it is so companion, and the coordination and collaborations is where the health side we can build up. And the real treatment or the management of our patients is only in our listening. It's not our extension is prescription, but it is always in our listening, and how we build up their listening about ourselves and our listening for themselves is much more important.
And about family members, I want to comment that instead of counseling their family member or a patient, they will complain us that he is eating that, eating this, not doing exercise. So that will also harm patients' mentality or psychology.
That's true. That's true. Even certain time, not only I'll add on another aspect to that. Somewhere the patients and patients relative are stressed. Even I will share today's morning one incident, that when they asked for a lab blood collection, and when they come down to me with their higher sugars, so I asked, this is not your usual self monitoring of blood glucose showing, but why today same happened? सर हमने कॉल दिया था अपने जो है लैब टेक्नीशियन को ब्लड कलेक्ट करने के लिए, एंड ही मेंशन्ड दैट ही विल कम डाउन अराउंड 7, एंड आई यूजुअली डू breakfast around 7:15, but he came down at 8 o'clock. He didn't pick up the phone. Then how would I do? And that created stress, and my sugar went through. So just it came into mind, and this is a forum where I can share the idea also, that why can't that phlebotomist Uberization can be possible. Aggregation of those phlebotomists, certified phlebotomists, and that ecosystem can be built on through this ecosystem. And this came up, and this is what I am sharing to all of our faculties, delegates, and the all around. And to build up, we can do those things with the scientific aspects, standardized aspect, putting the guidelines in, and that could be possible.
Thank you, the SASTE team for making me as a chairperson in this session.
Thank you for all of you to sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yash Patel.